Good morning and welcome back to Global Entertainment Headline this morning in our newspaper review segment. Let's start with the punch. Under Buhari Tinubu, 500 generals forced out despite rising insurgency. Under Buhari Tinubu, 500 generals forced out despite LP factions at war over OBADC pact. Abure LP factions at war over OBADC pact. To the next headline. OPE set to host the Empowering Futures Conference 2025. OPE set to host the Empowering Future Conference 2025. Up to next. Economic recovery has begun, says Edo. Economic recovery has begun, says Edo. To the next one. Delta deploys Airbus A330-900 on Nigerian routes. Delta deploys Airbus A330-900 on Nigerian routes. To the next one. CBN pumps $1.25 billion into fuel imports, orders in 3 months. CBN pumps $1.25 billion into fuel imports, orders in 3 months. Up to next. 5 pregnant Ondo girls rescued from baby factory. 5 pregnant Ondo girls rescued from baby factory. To next headline. Soludo, 1 million naira promise for voters to curb apathy, says APGA. Soludo's 1 million naira promise to voters to curb apathy, says APGA. And that's it for the punch. You move to the Vanguard. NECA, Namsi Man, rejects Senate NSITF takeover. NECA, MAN, NACCIMA rejects Senate NSITF takeover. Moving on to the next headline. Soludo's campaign move to Oruba. Soludo campaign moves to Oruba. Up to next. Nigeria loses $6.8 billion to oil production. Shortfalls in 8 months. Nigeria loses $6.8 billion to oil production. Shortfalls in 8 months. To the next one. Dangote expands refinery capacity to 1.4 million barrels per day. Dangote expands refinery capacity to 1.4 million barrels per day. Up to next. I will sack incompetent contractor, says Okpebholo. I will sack incompetent contractors, says Okpebholo. Moving on to the next headline. Enugu government arrests man for defiling his 2 daughters. Enugu government arrests man for defiling his 2 daughters. Moving on to next. Sarah to NNPC help accounts for missing 22.3 billion naira, $49.7 million, 14.3 million euro, 5.2 million oil funds. Sarah to NNPCL accounts for missing 22.3 billion naira, $49.7 million, and 14.3 million euro, equivalent to 5.2 million oil funds. To the next one. Access Holdings gross earnings up by 13.8% to 2.5 trillion naira. Access Holdings gross earnings up by 13.8% to 2.5 trillion naira. To the next one. Resident doctor declares indefinite nationwide strike from October 31st. Resident doctors declares indefinite nationwide strike from October 31st. And that's it for the Vanguard. We move to the Nation. National Assembly Constitution Review Panel proposes 6 new states. National Assembly Constitution Review Panel proposes 6 new states. Up to next. Supreme Court Justice worried about lawyers' poor legal knowledge. Supreme Court Justice worried about lawyers' poor legal knowledge. Up to next. Nigeria records over $50 billion in cryptocurrency trading. Nigeria records over $50 billion in cryptocurrency trading. To the next headline. Police uncovers baby factory in Ondo. Police uncovers baby factory in Ondo. To the next one. Rice price crashes across Lagos markets. Rice price crashes across Lagos markets. Up to next. Dangote refinery eyes $55 billion turnover on 1.4 million BPD expansion. Dangote refinery eyes $55 billion turnover on 1.4 million BPD expansion. Up to next. NECO opens UK exam center for Nigeria in diaspora. NECO opens UK exam center for Nigerian in diaspora. And that's it for the nation. We move to the guidance. 767 LGAs without active websites are made autonomy. 3 trillion naira yearly windfall. 767 LGAs without active websites are made autonomy. 3 trillion naira yearly windfall. Moving on to the next headline. Organized private sector opposes move to amend NSITF Act. Organized private sector oppose move to amend NSITF Act. To the next one. Constitution review. How Kanu pushed for additional Southeast state. Constitution review. How Kanu pushed for additional Southeast states. To the next headline. Fragile structures. Egos derails opposition as PDP forms SDP splinters. Fragile structure. Egos derail opposition as PDP forms SDP splinters. Up to next. Resident doctor to begin strike Friday over unmet demands. Resident doctors to begin strike Friday over unmet demands. To the next headline. Ayedatiwa clears backlog of Ondo police salary arrears. Ayedatiwa clears backlog of Ondo police salary arrears. Moving on to the next. Why we are expanding our refineries to 1.4 Mbpd by Dangote. Why we are expanding our refineries to 1.4 Mbpd by Dangote. To the next headline. Crush terrorism now. Nigerians tax news service chiefs. Crush terrorism now. Nigerian tax news service chiefs. Up to next. It takes 62 signatures to pay one NDDC contractor, says Ndoma Ugba. It takes 62 signatures to pay one NDDC contractor, says Ndoma Ugba. And as is for the background, we come to the end of the newspaper review segment. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to join us again next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more news and updates on Global Entertainment News TV. Once again, I've been your host, Sola, and have a wonderful day. Bye.